Happy Thursday, good people. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. We are in the building. Hopefully, you are doing phenomenal on this Thursday evening, as I am doing great. Um, I'm listening. I'm listening too. Peace and blessings. I'm listening. Hey, Tasha, what's going on? Tasha, did you get the book? Colin, there's an echo. Check to see if that's for me. All right, the echo is gone. Oh, okay. Tasha, did you get your book? Let me know in the chat. Did you get your book? Got it. Who is I'm listening? Are they still there? Whatever. Anybody heard from
What up? What up? What up? What's up, Robert?
What's going on with you? What's going on with you, sir?
I was just about to text you, Robert.
Say what? What you say?
I was just about to text you, Robert. Make sure you mute your background, sir. Please, thank you.
Sir.
I don't know if it is. I'm just saying, make sure. I'm just, check 1 2 1 2. Okay. Somebody got to give us an echo, fellas. We got to kill that real quick. There you go. It's gone. Thank you, gentlemen. Treat y'all like 3 2. We're in the building. Jerron, welcome back, my man.
Hey, what's good? What's good? How y'all doing?
Man, I'm loving the new place, man. It's
Hey,
all
we still
lit
got a lot
up.
going on, but it's a good start. Trying to get it together.
It's all bright and stuff. Hey, I'm with it. Welcome back, Mr. Rawls. I'm not saluting you, man. Welcome back, Mr. Rawls. It's good to see you, good sir. Out of the hospital. Where's the Louis Vuitton mask, man?
That's in the car.
That is hilarious. Mr. Longmire, I see you back in your original place. Man, I'm feeling real nostalgic right now. All I got to do is see that mic. No mic? Why is this dude's audio messed up every week?
Because I had the mute button on. What you talking about?
I'm just saying. Every week, bro. You and Wes. I might have to, Jerron, can you say a prayer for this guy?
Hey, you can do it. You was an ordained minister, right?
I am. I am. Mr. Muhammad. You still on the West Coast, still in Cali? Somebody please tell him that we can't hear him. I hear nothing you're saying. Oh, you know what? Colin muted you, so you got to unmute yourself.
I'm muted.
No,
there you
Colin
go.
got to do it.
Yeah. You're unmuted now.
Yeah, I'm still out here on the West Coast. Well, I mean, I'm always on the West Coast, but I'm still in LA. You know what I mean? Just chilling. This working remote thing is, I'll just be everywhere.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up. So I just upgraded to a MacBook Pro, Shan. I mean, it's a 2010 version, but I'm not
Yeah,
using it
right.
now. I want to like put my toe in the water and see how see
Wait,
how it is.
wait, 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 wait. You said
Yeah.
2010?
Yeah, I bought it used from like Facebook Marketplace. So I wanted to see what it's like, and then I'm gonna
That,
dip
that,
my toe in. What?
That's
you you
12,
you call
12
you call the 2010 MacBook Pro an upgrade?
No. I still have my PC. I'm not letting go of my PC.
You
I'm
probably want to
just
stay with the PC.
I just want to use it to see what it's like and get used to it, and then I go and I get something
So
like
you
for
just
real.
Okay.
trying to get used to an Apple
That's
product
not
is
even
what
gonna
it is.
show
That's
you a
that's what I'm gonna say
2010.
because
A,
It's
when you said
not gonna show
2010
me nothing.
MacBook Pro, I was like,
my nigga, a 2010 MacBook Pro ain't gonna give you the experience of of Apple
not at all.
today.
So
Not at all.
Well, my mom
Not
has a
Chris,
newer one, so I could probably just buy that one from her too. So
Chris,
yeah.
I don't
You
know,
probably
basically,
got that. You probably got that for $50 off of fucking some marketplace.
pretty
That
damn
was
much.
yeah.
Pretty
Chris,
much.
That
can y'all hear me?
What'd you
Yeah, we
say?
hear you. Go ahead, Colin.
We can hear you, Colin.
No, I'm saying basically you have a Core 2 Duo machine.
That's exactly what it is. A Core
You
2
have a dual,
processor.
you have a dual core in an age where we're using 6K, 4K video. You ain't gonna be able to handle anything outside of a PBS.
Oh, okay. Well, then I give it away or something like that. That's cool.
yeah.
I buy me another one. I don't know.
Chris,
So
Chris, you got like 3 video producers on this show. You could have asked us first before buying.
Listen, you bought a paperweight, bro.
that's fine. I got
Was your
kids.
table wobbly, bro? Like,
It was, what I'm saying? I gotta put it underneath them, what I mean? Your table shaky a little bit.
Hey, you
But
got
it's
to
cool
start
though.
somewhere. So
Exactly. What I mean? They hating
Don't
on
start
my,
there.
what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have a 4K. So Jerron, you missed it last week, man. They were talking about these cameras and lenses, and I was just like, okay, I'm gone. I'm out. And like lights and shutters and all this, I'm like, nah, I'm okay. Yeah, that ain't my lane. I'm out. Y'all have a great night. Anyways, welcome everybody to Ask a Black Man Anything. We are back. We are live, and we are in color. So I want to personally welcome you to the greatest show on Thursday nights. We've been doing this for almost a year, almost 12 months. And here's what's crazy. I'm gonna tell you guys this because y'all don't know. We actually had the opportunity to start like back in February going live, but it was kind of thwarted. We're not going to talk about that, but we could have been at a year right now. But we are here, we are live, and we're no longer just chilling and waiting in the water trying to figure out what's going on. But this is the live show where you can literally ask anything. If you have a question, you can go right here to the top of the screen and email us a question to questions@aabma.live. We will answer your questions like in the second part of our segment that we're going to do and later on. So we have some great questions lined up for you tonight, and we look forward to answering those questions. So with that being said, I want to introduce these great gentlemen, these great co-hosts here on the panel with me tonight. We're gonna welcome back our resident therapist because he's been away. He's been at concerts and laughing, and he's just been out of there. Anyway, man, give us an update, Jerron. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and do your introduction, bro.
it was good, everybody. I'm Jerron, as he stated, licensed clinical therapist, licensed clinical social worker here in Jackson, Mississippi. As he did state, I have been away for about 3 weeks. Last week, I had the opportunity to go see Kevin Hart live, so I definitely wanted to take advantage of that opportunity. And the 2 previous weeks was in the process of moving. Man, moving is an ongoing thing. Like, although I've moved 2 weeks ago, I'm still getting things taken care of and things together. So that's a process, but definitely glad to be back amongst the brothers. Definitely got to see everybody's face here in the place. And with that being said, I'm going to go and pass it to my brother, Robert.
You, Robert.
was it passed to me?
It was. I mean, considering you're the only Robin on the show,
I didn't hear him. Robert Longmire, Bakersfield, California, entrepreneur, investor. How y'all doing? It's good to see Shan back and not in the hospital gowns. Good to be up here with the brothers again. Let's get to it. I'm gonna pass it to Brother Shaheed.
And what's the deal? It's your favorite black cowboy, favorite black educator, favorite black everything on stage with your favorite black men. Let's get it going. Passing it to Colin.
Colin Hardiman, excuse me. Business owner, entrepreneur. Always glad to be here with my bros. Yeah, looking forward to tonight's show. And I pass it to Chris. Oh, is it Shan? Shan?
Yeah.
Shan.
It's your boy Shannon Ross from Los Angeles. Superhero. I know how to fly. I have
Touch the
invisibility.
sky.
I can read minds. I can I can telepath across the world, any place I want to be. In fact, the universe, but I don't like to do the universe because it's expanding so fast. So I like to just keep it right here on Earth. And I talk about two wonderful things like relationships and entrepreneurship with my superpowers. And I try to transform lives to make people better people than they currently are. Appreciate you guys having me. And we're gonna talk about some good stuff tonight. Chris, big dog, what's popping?
Short dog in the house. Good evening, everybody. And that's actually true. I think I'm actually the shortest guy on the broadcast, but tallest in spirit. I'm like 7'5" in my in my heart. So anyways, Chris Davis in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Buffalo, New York, the place where you can get the greatest wings on this side of heaven. With that being said, I am a published author of 2 great books. You can go right here, bing, to the Instagram bio, the real_Chris Davis. You can click the link. You can grab my book, The Edge of Greatness. It is a autobiography about my life and how I've been fired over 10 times in my life. My first time being fired was at the age of 11. You want to hear that story because I want you to be able to reach your own personal edge of greatness. And number 2, I wrote a workbook. It is a workbook to help dating. One of the things that we talk about a lot, we get a lot of dating questions. And I wrote this book 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, it's 2022. I wrote it in 2017. And I just made a list of conversations that you needed to have. And then it expanded into a book because somebody encouraged me to put it in book format. So definitely would love your support. With that being said, I am amongst these great gentlemen as a co-host of this show. This show is called Ask a Black Man Anything, and you literally can ask us anything. Typically, every week, we scour the internet and we look for topics to bring about because we want to get your opinion. We want to share with you our opinion and how they affect relationships at large. Because everything is a relationship, regardless of where you are in what you're doing, everything is relational. You go to the doctor, there's a relationship there. You go to a therapist, there's a relationship there. You go to your local grocery store. You may see the same cashier every week or every 2 or 3 days. There's a relationship, being built. You can't just go. You're not born alone, and you won't die alone. When you're born with doctors, and your mom is there, so multiple people are there. So everybody is relational. And I remember this, and I'll share it with you, and then we'll jump to our video. Zig Ziglar once said that everybody aspires to be connected to something bigger than ourselves. And so I encourage you to find something that you can become connected to. We pray it's this community of Ask a Black Man Anything. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. And also, we're on TikTok, _ AABMA on TikTok, but Ask a Black Man Anything right here on every other social media handle and on Twitter. So if you like to tweet. I don't tweet, Twitter, whatever it is called. I don't do that, but we have Twitter, Ask a Black Man Anything. And so while we're looking through the internet for things to talk about, we found this great topic. Who really does not do right by relationships? Who is the problem in relationships? And before I jump into my little description, we're gonna play the video for you, just like right.
We all in this sitting here waiting for you to tell us how a man can trap a woman.
Oh, honey, he thought he ate this one up. Sir, a man can trap a woman any way a woman can trap a man, especially with kids.
Is this showing on the outside?
No, sir.
No, I don't see it. Do you see it?
No. It's definitely there, but it's just blank. Let's try it again. Or I'm going to just share my screen.
You want to go ahead and just explain it, Chris?
Yeah, it's coming up now.
I trust the process.
Or nah. Yeah, it's just going on really slow right now for whatever reason. I don't know if this video's corrupted or what.
Trust the process.
Yeah, let's talk about it, Chris, because it's saying I'm just getting errors.
Hold on.
Are you able to play it on your side?
I'll play it on my side. Hold on.
Okay.
We all finna sit in here and wait for you to tell us how a man can trap a woman.
Oh, honey, he thought he ate
ready?
this one up. Sir, a man can trap a woman.
Finna sit in here and wait for you to tell us. We all finna sit in here and wait for you to tell us how a man can trap a woman.
Oh, honey, he thought he ate this one up. Sir, a man can trap a woman any way a woman can trap a man, especially with kids. Y'all, there are some low self-esteem, bottom of the barrel ass men out here who will see a woman, be attracted to her for her light, her aura, her potential, know that he will never rise to that occasion. So instead of trying to do so, he will make this woman think he loves her. Now she has his child. And once that happens, he no longer has to work to meet her at her level because now he's tied to her no matter what. And a lot of men feel like women lose their value once they have children. And honey, that's exactly what those type of men want. They want you to lose your value to other men because they're not willing to do what it takes to have you. So they damn sure don't want nobody else to get your ass. I mean, y'all see what's going on with Safari and Erica Mena, right? Before she started having that man's kids, baby, it was bliss. But right after, the switch up was real. Baby, that's a trap.
I know she didn't use Erica Mena in Safari.
Go ahead, Shan. Go dive in.
I know she didn't use Erica Mena in Safari. I had the video and I processed it, but I never watched it. This is right now. Just now was the first time I ever watched that video in ever. Would you mind if we run that one? It's only 50 seconds. Can we run that one more time? Because it sounded like the brother in the beginning. Was saying that women cannot trap men. No, I'm sorry. It sounded like the brother in the beginning was saying men cannot trap women, but women trap men all the time. And he's saying, show me how a man is trapping a woman. And then she came in. So let me just watch this one more time, guys. Everybody pay attention to this. 57 seconds. Here we go.
We all finna sit in here and wait for you to tell us how a man can trap a woman.
Oh, honey, he thought he ate this one up. Sir, a man can trap a woman any way a woman can trap a man, especially with kids. Y'all, there are some low self-esteem, bottom of the barrel ass men out here who will see a woman, be attracted to her for her light, her aura, her potential, know that he will never rise to that occasion. So instead of trying to do so, he will make this woman think he loves her. Now she has his child. And once that happens, he no longer has to work to meet her at her level because now he's tied tied to her no matter what. And a lot of men feel like women lose their value once they have children. And honey, that's exactly what those type of men want. They want you to lose your value to other men because they're not willing to do what it takes to have you. So they damn sure don't want nobody else to get your ass. I mean, y'all see what's going on with Safari and Erica Mena, right? Before she started having that man's kids, baby, it was bliss. But right after, the switch up was real. Baby, that's a trap.
All right. My thoughts. Okay, listen. Pimping, sex traffic, women who go out and have sex with strangers, collect money from said strangers for the sex that they exchanged, and then go and turn around and give that money to a man who's sitting outside in the car waiting for her to come down from the motel room. Is she trapped? Does she want to be there? You know, what's the syndrome called when people fall in love with their captors? Help me out, you guys. I'm having a brain fart.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. We know Stockholm syndrome is real clinically, right? So, can a man trap a woman? Absolutely. And I'm saying that because I'm out here in Los Angeles and I've seen women trapped into prostitution, mentally trapped into prostitution. I've seen women who will do literally, who will murder. I know one woman, she all she needed was to be given the order for a guy that she loved so much. She probably would have shot herself, but I knew she would have shot anybody he told her to. She didn't have to be there. She could have packed up in a Hertz rent a car and moved to Wisconsin and never been seen again. And I know you guys probably know some people who just like why do you keep going back to that? Or maybe you heard the stories. You know, I know them, but maybe you guys don't know them and you heard of the stories. Why do you keep going back to that dude? Why? How does he has your mind? When I got married the first time in 2004, the father of my so I married the pastor's daughter, and the father of my first wife told me in his kitchen one day, he said, see, because she worked for him, right? He was a pastor and she worked at the church. And he told me one day, he said, you got my daughter's mind. I'll never forget. He was looking at, and he was saying that like, she don't listen at me no more. Now she listens at you. Because I had asked for his daughter's hand in marriage. I went to him and his wife, and it's like, I'd like to marry your daughter and promise to take care of her. I did all of the shit that you guys read in the books and everything. I learned how to ask for I did all of that, right? And they gave me the blessing, and they was excited and all of that, right? And then one day later, I realized that he wasn't really excited about me marrying his daughter because I was taking somebody away from his organization. It was a big church. He's a bishop. He had multiple churches, and she was she was part of the administration at the church. But he knew that if she got with me, she's coming with me. This is Rawls, and she was coming with me. And I remember that I felt like some problems in that, just in the air. It was never directly said, but it was just like, damn, what's going on? Do you want me to marry your daughter or not? This is afterwards. And then he told me, you got her mind now. I don't, I no longer have my daughter's, I no longer have influence over my daughter. You do. In his mind, I'm thinking he's probably thinking I trapped his daughter psychologically. We were college sweethearts the whole nine. So, and to the brother that asked the question in the beginning of the video, and this is just mine, and I'll pass it to one of you guys. Show me a way that somebody can trap. Men trap women mentally all the time. I mean, you guys have seen the movie. I forget what's the name of the one where it opens up with the pimp and the girl. He got his hands on the steering wheel. He was like, "Put your hands right here. Help me out." You guys know the movie I'm talking about? It's Hard to Be a Pimp. It won an Oscar for the soundtrack.
Hustle and
Oh,
Flow.
you guys don't know that? Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow. Thank you.
Yeah.
The opening scene of the movie Hustle and Flow. He had that little white. He was in the passenger. He had that little white. He said, "Put your hand on the steering wheel, baby." See, we going like, and he did some old pimp shit to get her mind. That's trapping, sex trafficking, pimping, and and the things that women how they will degrade their bodies to other strangers for money to give to another man just because I guess he's quote unquote taking care of her, right? That's trapping. Now, what I think the brother's saying, now that's the mental trap. What the brother's probably saying is, well, you need to go get some psychological help, ladies. You need some therapy. You need to go and fix your mind. Because outside of mental trapping, everything else is illegal. And even the mental trapping is to a degree illegal, right? With pimping. But even but women trap men physically. And I'm sure he's talking about baby mamas. Because women are the only people who have the authorization to take a baby to term. No man, not in America. You know, we speak in the United States of America. In America, no man can make a woman have a baby or make a woman have an abortion. That decision is solely and exclusively on women. And so if you get into a relationship with a guy and you guys, the condom breaks, you guys are being reckless, you're not paying attention to the ovulation day, you guys just you shooting up the club and all whatever, however she got pregnant. And he says, listen, I'd like to not be pregnant. Let's say, for instance, Drake didn't pour hot sauce in that condom, and we know that was all fake to begin with. But let's just embellish the story. Let's say Drake didn't pour hot sauce in the condom, and the woman grabbed that condom out the trash can and smeared all of that nut up inside of herself while she was in the hotel bathroom. Now she's pregnant, trapped. Women physically trap men, and it's a legal trap. So, to a degree, the brother's right. To a degree, the way the woman explained her rebuke to the brother is wrong. But she could have been right if she would have just left it with the mental side. I think she was saying, you know what, I listened to her twice, but really what she was saying to me was nonsensical. But if I had to answer the question flat on his face, can men trap women? I'd say yes, man. I would check if I had to bet the farm. I'd check the box. Yes, men trap women. Men trap women mentally all the time. I've seen it out here in Los Angeles. I've seen one girl get strung out on drugs. She ended up living under the freeway in the valley near the 118 freeway, and then she ended up overdosing and died because she was mentally trapped by a dude that kind of had her gang banging at first back in the like 80s and 90s. She was gang banging at first. Then she started prostituting for the same dude. And then he let her go. And he went on about his life, got married and had a family. She never got out of that shit. She ended up overdosing and dying. He trapped that girl. So I'm going to say yes. That's just me.
Yeah, I think you can. In this context, I think, they were talking more so about intentions. I do think some men intentionally, I think you could physically trap a woman also. Like, I think I wouldn't say a lot. Let me not say a lot. I think some men actually get women pregnant on purpose just to have that hold over them. Now, yeah, a woman can decide if she want to keep it or not, but now you trapping her emotionally because she has to deal with that for the rest of her life. Does she want to make that decision? If you do something like that to a woman, she has to make a decision on her morale. Do I want to keep this child? She might be a God-fearing woman. She don't believe in abortion. You know what I mean? And if she does get that abortion, now that's an emotional entrapment because I got to deal with this decision that I made for the rest of my life. Every time, whatever the date is, anytime I see a baby, I'm thinking of that. So I definitely believe it is possible. In this context, I think he was looking for, more so how women do it. But I'll just say, yeah, I'll leave it at that, and I'll pass it on to someone else.
Yeah, I agree. I believe it is true on both sides. And I think about, in terms, I've always seen it with a lot of, like athletes and famous people and celebrities, where you do have like a lot of these women that may get pregnant by these guys just so that, they can have a baby by them and they can be well taken care of. But I also do think there are guys that, let's just be honest, they might not want you anymore, but they don't want nobody else to have you either. So, there are people out there like, hey, if I don't want you, but I definitely don't want nobody else to have you either. So I'm gonna get you pregnant. And then at that point in time, then, nobody else may not want you. But in actuality, in today's terms, a lot of men, just because you have a child, I mean, that's not going to turn a person off from actually talking to you. But I do think a lot of men, there are men out here with that mindset that, hey, just because I don't want you anymore, I don't want no other nigga to have you either. So I'm gonna get you pregnant, and I'm gonna still be around because you have my child. So I'm forced to be around now. You can't get rid of me, unless you have an abortion, like Shaheed said. But if you have the child, carry it to full term, and you commit to continue to keeping the baby, then I'm gonna be around because now I have a reason to be around. I have an excuse to be around. So you're never gonna get rid of me, even if you want to. But I don't want you like that no more. Or I'm gonna go on with my life, but I'm gonna still come around all the time whenever I want to because you got my child. So I do think it can happen. I definitely think it can happen on both sides, but I do think a man can trap a woman.
I think there's a lot of reasons, man. There's a lot of different ways. I had to actually type some down. And kind of, yeah, 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 yeah. Shan actually kind of alluded to a couple of them, but I don't know if it's if people who don't know that world are even realizing that that's how it happens. A lot of times, sometimes it is just a simple giving a woman a drug, and now she's addicted to coming to get that drug, and she's got to come to you. She's used to that. Um, Along with that, you have money. Some man will bring a woman on to them, support them, and then take away any ability that they have to go out and make money, to go out and support themselves. And therefore, they are trapped thinking that, it's hard to go out and survive. Now they have to survive as a woman, and that could be a tough situation. Physical force. I have seen many times where a man is beating a woman, and that woman will not leave that relationship. She'll know she has help. She'll know she'll have people that'll come get her. She'll know she'll be able to pick up and leave. But that hold of that physical abuse, it's not only the physical that messes with the mental too, but that hold will also keep a woman inside of a relationship. Um, I don't know if people will agree, but sex is another thing that I feel like men weaponize, or some of us have the ability to weaponize to keep a relationship that isn't really there. You might not necessarily want it exactly. You might not even want the woman whatsoever, but she has traits or qualities that you want to keep around. So you use what you have. You use your ability to make her come consistently to keep her trapped inside that relationship or trapped sprung on you.
So wait, you
Um,
saying some good dick is trapping a woman?
Shit, dickmatized. That came around for a reason. That slogan came around for a reason.
But
But
you
yeah,
think that's our fault that we know how to use our prowess?
yes, it's
Because
definitely
all
Okay,
of it is
okay. So watch this.
because when it's mental, Chris, it seems like anything mental is still gonna be on us, and it's all mental.
Right, but
Everything that
right
everybody
because
mentioned is mental.
right. So just because I know how to please you, right? Because I know how to please you, you now are trapped by me because you make the decision to keep coming back because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
That doesn't seem like a trap that
nah, but
I chose.
you
You
can,
decided to put yourself into those shenanigans.
but
You can walk away at any time. Nobody's taking a gun, put it to your head, and say, "Come back right now because I got good." Nobody's doing that, right? That's not happening.
nah, but Chris,
Digmatized
some men
is
take
a
advantage of it.
mentality. Go ahead. I'm
Some
sorry.
some men take advantage of it. I've taken advantage of it. Like I've known women to like not be able to resist me physically, and I knew it was just one or two things that I had to do, and I had them. They was close to walking away, close to being out the door, and I knew that I could just pull them back in. You know what I mean? By just
A
one
phone
night,
call, a text.
right? I mean, it's not. You're right. I'm not putting a gun to her head. She still has to make a decision to answer that call, that text, etc.
Right.
But
Right.
I know what my intentions were, and I knew I was taking advantage of that.
Yeah, but
But
I don't think it's trapping. That's just
exactly, and
me.
that's my exact point. Just so think of it this way: if I have a mouse trap and I put peanut butter or cheese on the trap, and the mouse has gotten caught, and 10 mouse before they got caught on the trap, the 11th mouse might look and be like, you know what? And I'm not saying that, But the next mouse might be like, you know what? Let me stay away from the cheese. They're still making a conscious decision. So I've done it too. I know women that I have had, that whatever over, and they wanted to stop talking to me. I know what I do. Pick up the phone, shoot them a little message on Instagram, shoot a little text, shoot a little email, whatever the case is. And because I know if you can keep the communication open, you're gonna keep talking to me. If I keep having you talking to me, then I got you. I think I won't say all, but I think most men who are, they know they have a prowess, we all do. We've all done it before, but it's not my responsibility if you keep coming back. I didn't trap you if you keep coming back. That was my point that I was making in reference to the digmatized.
I think.
Go ahead, Robert.
I was gonna say, but when it comes to that, there's a point to where it crosses where I'm just manipulating you in order to get something out of you. Like, I know that I'm going to give you these endorphins. I'm going to release these hormones for you, and that's going to be your drug, and that's going to keep you coming back. So
absolutely, but see,
that's called manipulation.
Just because I give you the drug or I put the drug in your face, it doesn't mean that you have to take it. You're still making a conscious decision, and I think the thing in reference to digmatized, some women decide that they want us to be the blame. Like if the marriage fails, we're to blame. If the marriage is a success, we don't get a whole lot of credit, but we are not always the ones to get the blame. But in reference to being trapped or whatever the case is, I do agree. Some men trap women, but in pregnancy, just because she looks good, not because you don't lose value by having a baby. If anything, if you're around the right kind of man, a masculine man, a man that's mature, if you're around the right kind of man, what you'll understand is that these men will value you because you have you have what we're looking for. You have motherly skills. You have the ability to adapt. You have adaptability. And I'll give you a quick story. There's a lady that I was talking to, 40, never married, no kid. And I was sharing with Colin earlier. She valued her vagina over marriage. She was like, well, I won't have sex with you if you can't give me a baby. So we don't trap them. That's their own decision making in reference to how they stay trapped if they get a baby. Any final thoughts on it? Because
I definitely gotta disagree with the part where we say you don't lose value if you get pregnant. We talk about it all the time, how the high value man and women with children, they lose value. They don't, they're the women that don't have children, the women that are younger, etc., X, Y, and Z. We say that they are higher up in the dating pool because of they don't have children. So we can't say in one breath you don't lose value if you have a child, and in the next breath we say like, oh, you're lower on the dating, you're higher on the dating pool if you don't have a child.
Well, I think Chris.
And I also can't let that slide, Chris, because
I think he was specifying if you're with the masculine man, so it's just like she's not losing value because she's not on the dating market. So in the dating market, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but on the dating market, that's where she loses value. She's out there on the dating market with a child from a relationship or whatever that didn't work. But I think what Chris is saying, if she has a child with the husband, the man, it's like she doesn't lose her value because she's in that union. Is that what you were saying, Chris?
Yeah, so I'm saying that she is not her value does not go down to me, right? I don't say if she has a baby she loses value. I don't say that. I want a single mom. I would rather have a single mom. If you have ever heard me on Clubhouse with any of the dating coaches that I've been on, I would prefer my top priority is a divorced mom, then a single mom, then a divorced woman, and then a woman with never married, no kids. That's my ranking because I'm a divorced dad.
You just did it. You said a divorced mom, then a single mom. So are you saying You're talking about the children being grown and out of the home, right?
No. They can be in the house. What I'm saying is, if they have a baby, their value doesn't decrease. For me, it doesn't decrease. Though, so if they
But
have a child, if they have multiple children, for me, their value doesn't go down. For me, their value goes up because now we can create a blended family. That's for me. I know other people feel differently, and that's fine, right? I'm totally okay with that.
Okay.
Any final thoughts?
yeah, where
Well,
your argument goes south for me, as far as people, men giving women babies in order for them to trap them, it's not. It may be in part to devalue, but it's more so in part like, now you have to deal with me for the next 18 years, and more likely than not, I'm going to be able to get that cat again. I know people who I've seen it. I've seen people who it worked for them 9 times out of 10, where a woman will deal with them physically and intimately because they had a baby by them, not even wanting to be with them. And then one time the other time that I know of, the gentleman, so-called gentleman, got a lady pregnant, and he did it in the most grimy way. But she didn't go for it, where she ended up letting him back into his life. She didn't let him back into her life. So guys do it in order to stay around a woman from time to time. Like, it's a grimy thing, but that's what happens. It
yeah,
does happen.
and I was trying to give you an out, Chris, but you didn't take it. So, but my stand as far as like, because it really doesn't apply if the woman has a baby and she's in a relationship, she's in a marriage. I mean, it really isn't a factor, but that's why I said she doesn't lose her value.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's not even a factor because she's not on the dating market. But yes, if you're a baby mama, if the relationship didn't work out, not married, and you got there on the dating market, yeah, definitely loses value. So that's why I thought you was coming from, Chris, but after your clarification, it's like, okay, well, I just got to clarify my stance.
No, yeah, but and that's fine. But I just, for me, their value may go down for you all, but just not for me. So it's okay to disagree, right? With that being said, I do want to thank you all for that particular thing, because here's the deal. One of the things that I love is that we don't all have to agree, right? But one of the things that we do agree on is that we are unified in being this, answering questions that are emailed to us every single week. And we get messages on Facebook, we get messages on email, we get messages on Instagram, we get messages literally everybody. And no, I don't mind being a stepdad. I'm okay with that. I listen. I'm a great father, right? At least I think I am. My kids tell me I am. Sometimes I'm a shitty dad. Well, that's a whole other story. So I'm gonna bring up these first. I'm gonna go through the third question. The third question is from Joshua Sayer. He sent us a message on Facebook, and thank you for the question, Joshua. To the question that he asked: well, is it okay to say nigger or nigga, right, or the N word as a white person when singing a song that has it in the lyrics? And again, I'll say it again: is it okay to say the N word as a white person when singing a song that has it in the lyrics, fellas? I thought that was a pretty interesting question. What say you? Can a white person
I,
say the
I
N word
say
when singing a song?
I say if they by themselves and ain't nobody else around to hear it, whatever. But if you around a whole bunch of people, just decide how bad you want your ass whooped. That's that's just realize what you're risking. It's like reaching. It's like reaching as if you have a gun and you're around a cop. So if you want to take that chance that he gonna turn around and fire on you, take the chance. I'm done. Anybody else?
I mean, I feel the exact same way. Like, you better bleep it out if you're around some people that are, of color. I feel the exact same way. And if you want to know, if y'all think that he might be semi-racist, his real name is Joshua Sayer. Joshua S. I ain't gonna do that to him. Joshua S. I don't know where he's from.
Too late now. You already gave his social security number.
Facts. No. That was my bad. My bad, Josh. If you're watching, I apologize. I shouldn't have gave you your whole name. But we normally do first name, middle, last initial. I apologize. I messed up. But absolutely, Kia, don't say it, because if you say it, especially if you say it the wrong way, or if you say it like you had too much emphasis, like you really meant to be like, yeah, you know, and I was beating that nigga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
don't even start saying a word because
You don't say it at
right.
all.
Yeah,
either
what?
way, it's like
Hold on. What is the old saying? If you have to ask, it's probably a no.
Facts.
This
That is
Black
the
History
absolute
Month too.
answer.
Don't do that to us. No, Black History Month, man. Don't use them words, bro.
If you have to ask,
I would say if you really want to know, go to a black neighborhood and do the research.
Not just any black neighborhood. Go to.
I don't know, man. I'm a little different. You know, so when I was in the military a
Eminem can
thousand
say
years
that.
ago, when I was in the military 1,000 years ago, I was up north in Jefferson County, right near Ottawa, Canada. We was near the border. I was at Fort Drum, New York, Mountain 10th Mountain Division. And I went partying one night, man, and I was walking down the street and this car pulled up and it was a bunch of white boys. I don't know if they were from Canada or I don't know if they were from the local area. And they drove by and they screamed out. And as I was walking by, right, you fucking nigger, stepped on the gas. Now, I never
gonna get
really
us
experienced
banned.
I never experienced anything like that in LA, right? And I'm all of 20 years old, maybe I joined the army at 19. So I'm like, just say I'm 20, 21 years old, right? And I was frozen, like, what the fuck did I just experience? Right. Um, After going through the military, getting out of the military, going through college, getting out of college, I always was like, you know what? That's not a word for nobody else other than black people. But now that I'm older, right, and I'm seeing how the youth has kind of desensitized the word. I know that attempted to the Wayans brothers attempted to copyright. They sent in at the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, some years ago. They tried to register the word nigger with the USPTO. They wanted to own the word, right? And start a company around it. I think it was Damon Wayans and Keenan Ivory Wayans. And they wanted to own the word. They were declined. They tried again. They were declined again. So they were declined every time they tried to do it. And now you got these kids out here like Takashi 6ix9ine. You got, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B. People that we know is clearly not black, but identify with the black culture. And then it reminds me of one of the homies in the hood. We had a red head, red eyebrow, freckle face gangster from from I won't say what Crip gang, but he was a hardcore Crip. He just happened to grow up in the hood. He was a foster boy. He was a foster kid, and he was taken in by a black family, but he grew up and he became a real hardcore gangster Crip. White as Opie. White as Opie. And you couldn't tell him he couldn't say nigga. He said it as fluidly and as smooth as we did. And if anybody ever tried to check him, he had black people behind on his side to be like, nah, he good, nigga. So I guess my thing is to the question for the guy: is it okay to say the N word while singing "Fuck the Police" or rapping some the OG Snoop Dogg album Doggy Style that came out in '94, or a guy that just loves black culture and he's listening to Tupac, you know, and then he's like just rocking out to it, and he just happens to say the word while singing the song that he loves from an artist that he reveres. Am I gonna pounce on him? Am I gonna trip on him the way I would them dudes that called me a nigga in New York, upstate New York, that cold winter night that was snowing that didn't know if I was getting ready to get lynched? I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I was young. I didn't no security, no nothing. Are they saying it the same way somebody else is rapping? Fucking Kanye. Nah, I'm not tripping on that no more. If I ever would have, when I hear somebody enjoying musical content that we present to the world and expect them to not enjoy it the way we do. So I look at it just a little bit different than most. I get what you guys are saying. I hear you. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. But in my older years now, now that I got a little bit, now that I've seen a few things and I understand how people think a little bit better than I used to, I don't think that I would trip if I heard some white kids singing, some white young kids, maybe let's call him a skateboarder, he or a bicycle rider, and he got his backpack on and he's wearing his streetwear that they've adopted. They've adopted every piece of our culture, every piece of our hip hop. Am I going to be upset? Hey, don't say that part of the song. I think I'd feel weird than just let him go ahead and rock it out. That's just me.
I think the only time I was like it was cool was there was a company that I worked with in my first business. The company's name was Nigga Transport, Nigga Transportation, and Nigga Transport, and it was it was the guy's last name, and he used it for the company.
How do you spell it?
NIGER.
Oh, 1G.
Yep.
Should have been
that. Might have been That might have been Niger.
Yeah, that had to be Niger.
That might have been Niger. I don't think that was nigga.
Niger River in Africa. It's like literally Niger is pronounced Niger. It's not G, it's J. But I bet he played it.
Yeah, nah.
That's hilarious. It don't matter what it say. Robert was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, it's Nigga Transport. Hilarious. All right, so here we go. Thank you for that question. I forgot Jason. I forgot your name on already. Wherever it went on the screen. Thank you for that question. Second question, which I think is a really great question, because it's surrounding dating, and I know we love to talk about dating. Do some men feel that when a woman touches them on a first date, it's leading them on? Do some men feel that when a woman touches them on a first date, it's leading them on? And that's from Tequila from Atlanta, right here in my town. Do some men feel, fellas, what do you think? Do you feel that if a woman gives you, and I'm guessing it's non-sexual physical touch, right? Touches you on your arm, or, laughs when laughs and kind of touches your chest or something, like Shan is ready to pounce.
Don't touch me at all.
Don't. Why not, Shan?
Look. Do men feel that when a woman touches them on a first date or early dating, that is leading them on? The answer for Shannon is hell yes. In fact, you touch me, we could be dating for a year, and you touch me, I'm like, we trying to get something popping? Where we at? We can go find a room. In my opinion, when women touch men, because you know why? Because women know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Women know what they're doing. They're very calculated when it comes to their movements. And the reason why is because they have to be so guarded for the way that they are. Women, you go to a club. I've seen dudes grope women. I've seen the way dudes kind of, can I get by, sister? So I know I know the guard that they have to put up, just so if they're at a nightclub, if they're at the roller rink, you know what I'm saying? If they're at a concert, if they're at a crowded event or whatever, that they have to be protective. Women are always covering up. Women have to cross their legs, different things like that. So when it comes to physicality and protecting the sexual aspect of that, women are astute, much more so than men. If they are like that for themselves, there's no way that they will be just aloof when it comes to putting out that same energy. You can't be a protective woman and not think about it. So my thoughts is, you laughing at my joke and now your hand is on my chest. You just checking for my chest. Oh, you laughing at my joke. Oh, hi. And you grabbing the girl grabs your biceps. Bruh, what you doing? And I let them know, because now I don't give a fuck. I'm old. Oh, what you doing? What fuck buddies? Is this a fuck buddy invite? And I'll make them laugh and I'll make it seem like it's funny, but I know what's happening. Because I know that if they don't like you sexually, they don't touch you.
Ain't touch you.
If she has no interest, 0% interest, 0% sexual attraction to you, you ain't getting touched. So my answer to that question is yes, you are leading me on. If you touchy-feely with me on a date.
That's hilarious. Jerron, chime in. If a woman, you're on a first date, you're telling a joke, right? You might be able to, let's say y'all went to a Super Bowl party, it happens to be the first date. You make a joke, she laughs, in her laughter, she happens to, her hand swinging down, and obviously it's a little intentional there, but she, hits your arm or grabs your bicep or hits your chest. Is she leading you on, you personally? And I'm gonna chime in after all you guys go.
To me, I would say personally, I would say that it depends on where she does it at. So, if she touches my bicep or touches my chest area, or even goes a little further down, now I feel like that's intentional, and she's trying to send a signal, or that's a sign that she's trying to, maybe go there on an intimate level. But if she just grazed my arm or just kind of pat me on my shoulder or stuff like that, I wouldn't say she's leading me on. I wouldn't think that. Only time I would think she's leading me on if I can tell it's really intentional and she's like really trying to go there. So I feel like if you touch me on my bicep or you touch me a little bit lower than that, you kind of getting a whole lot a little more intimate. I feel like you're trying to take things a little bit further. Because if you just kind of give me a friendly tap on my shoulder or kind of touch my arm while you're laughing, no, I wouldn't think she's leading me on.
All
But
right, so
just
let me
me
put a
now.
different spin on it. Robert, you Mr. Love Doctor, Mr. Love Dove, you walking, and she grabs your hand. She touched you on the first date. Is she leading?
She grabbed your hand. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
if she doesn't have any intention in furthering the relationship in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, if you grab my hand, I'm gonna think that you into me, you're into the experience. The only time, like, I don't think there's a time that a woman can touch a man and it's not gonna make him believe that there's a chance of furthering the relationship. I realize that sometimes it can be done to allow for a certain amount of comfort on the date, but as the date progresses, if you touch a man, to me, it's a sign that you're into him and you're ready to kind of you know push the date along, or figure out what you guys can do, figure out where your chemistry really lies.
Interesting. I didn't expect you to say that, Mr. Loverman.
Uh, I think I think it speaks more so to the comfort level of a woman versus it actually meaning something more. Like women are affectionate beings, so a lot of times these women probably don't even know that they're doing it because they're so comfortable. If you make a woman comfortable, she's going, her hair is going to come
Open
down,
up.
she's going
Yep.
to soften up. So she might not necessarily be doing it on purpose, but that's just her 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 inner self coming out because you've made her comfortable enough, you made her safe enough to express these things. Um, but it's all the same, you know what I mean? If you make a woman comfortable enough and those things start to happen, you know what I mean? It's going to naturally progress and flow how it should. So, um, but I don't necessarily feel like a woman's leading because I'm like I know a little more, so it's like I don't take it as her leading me on. You know what I mean? It's just the natural progression of things.
It's only a lead on if the next natural progression, if the next natural progression doesn't happen, and it's like, oh no, I didn't want to progress the relationship, I didn't want to progress physically, emotionally, anything like that. Unless you were shoving me out of the door, there's really no reason to touch me.
Hey,
Colin, we don't want to get banned. Somebody tell Colin we don't want to get banned.
she gonna have to
They gonna
tell
mute
me
that
though,
part
man.
out, Colin.
She
10
gonna have to
seconds, that
tell
don't
me.
that don't matter.
So here's my thought. Because I believe in non-sexual physical touch, right? And I agree with Shan to the extent of that it does say that you're interested in me. It does say that. And I realize that because I aim to make a person comfortable on the first date, but I also will communicate with you at least for 3, 4, 5, 6 days prior to reaching that first date. And prior to getting to that first date, we have I want us to be at a place where we're laughing and joking and we're having fun and we might have inside jokes and stuff like that. And so if you're laughing at me, I expect you to touch my body because I want you to know that you're flirting with me because me making jokes is a way that I flirt back with you. Um, so that's number one. Number two, I don't think it's leading me to sex. And I say that because so many, I won't say so many. I have heard one too many sexual assaults have happened because the man does not understand that it's non-sexual physical touch. And I'm not advocating for every woman to go out and say, "Oh, I touched him," and so now it's right. It's all right for him to come on to me and touch me inappropriately. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, and I want to be very clear, that there is a thing called non-sexual physical touch. Just because she touches your shoulder, touches your chest, touches your hand, touches your arm, that's not a sign to go in for the kill. That's not what that means, right? And so you have to realize that. You have to realize the difference. Because a woman will clearly communicate with you that she wants to be intimate with you. She will clearly leave an indicator that she wants to take it to that particular place. And so because I am aware, and it's really crazy, last couple of women that I've spoken to in my getting to know phase or what have you, they've admitted that they've been sexually assaulted by a man. And I'm just like, how do we even get to that point? Where do we as black men stop protecting our black women, and then we try to, put them in a situation that makes them uncomfortable? And that's my only thought process. So I don't think that you're leading me on. I think it does show, it indicates that you like me, but hell, that's the point. We're going on this date because you like me. That's my point in going on a date. I'm not going on a date if you don't like me. It's just not gonna happen. We're going as an outing, or as meeting up. That we may do that, and I agree 1,000%, Tasha. It definitely has to do with your intentions. Any final thought, Colin? Did you want to chime in? I'm sorry, I didn't. Other than your song.
No, I think everyone was pretty nail on the head. So all that indicates to us is that you are, or it indicates to me, I ain't gonna speak for everybody, but it indicates to me that, okay, she's feeling me. But I'm not gonna go in just like for the kill right then and there. It's just like I'm gonna continue enjoying the night. But that's an indicator to me that, yeah, she's already feeling it. The chemistry is good, the vibe is good, and it's just like, all right.
Put Joel's comment on the screen. I wanna tackle that. Go ahead, Jerron.
I was say she gonna have to tell me though. And it just goes back to what you just basically said. There's too many women being sexually assaulted and things like that. So, I'm not moving forward with any intentions or anything unless she tells me like, hey, this is what I want to happen. This is what I'm trying to do. Because I don't even want to put myself in that type of predicament or situation.
Correct. Because jail time is real.
You don't want to get me too.
Facts.
No, not at all. Facts.
And so let me bring this up. Joel, the middle child, says that's the problem. Women go on foodie calls, etc., with no real interest in the guy. And so here's the thing. I don't have a copy of my book with me. Joel, if I'm saying it incorrectly, Joel or Joel, the middle child. If you're qualifying or vetting a woman properly, you will never go on a date with somebody that is not interested in you. You will have enough questions to ask them. If you go to my Instagram bio, and then you ask all of the right questions, you'll find if they're interested in you or not. Typically, what happens is you'll match with a woman, and you're so excited that you match with somebody that you're actually interested in that you want to jump to the date. And instead of you just qualifying to see if she's worth you actually taking out, worth the investment that you're going to spend, the money that you're going to spend on that date, you should take your time and qualify that woman. Find out, what her interests are. Find out, if she's going to ask you enough questions. If she's not asking you any questions, if she's not, leaning into the conversation and participating, then you don't take her out. I mean, dating is not very difficult. It's not. It's people who have terrible experiences that make dating difficult. Dating is very, very simple. You find somebody that you like, that you're attracted to. You find somebody that you can communicate with. You find somebody that will reciprocate the actions, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much more than that, right? Because when everybody's given, no one is lacking. So if she gives to you, you give to her. You can
Give what?
communicate.
When you say everybody's giving, what should men be expecting to receive?
So, great question. Men should be expecting to receive communication. I think that we should be expected to receive um, intimacy, and I'm not saying sex, but intimacy. Like, they should be. You should be create an experience for me that I can't get somewhere else. So, like, I'll give you an example. What you should not expect is a woman to have a house, a car, a job, and um and and money in the bank, because that's not everybody has that. That shouldn't be your bar, right? Everybody has those things. Once she goes above that, right? Does she pay attention to what you say, right? Like Colin, if he's in back-to-back meetings and he can't feed himself, is she going to send you, Uber Eats, right? To make sure that you're taken care of. If you should expect to be emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and then eventually sexually taken care of. You should expect those things as things progress. That's what you should expect, and she should expect those things in return. You should expect her to be feminine. You should expect her to be soft, to help you in whatever endeavor that you're involved in, right? If I have a clothing line, or if I'm a fashion designer, right? Because there's a difference between a clothing line and a fashion designer. I'm positive of that, right? If I'm a fashion designer and I know a guy, or I'm in a circle where I hear about fashion design and it's a great opportunity for my significant other, by all means, make that connection for me on my behalf, right? Because I'm not there. If I like top hats, get me a top hat. If there's a conference, a free conference for a therapist that can bolster my therapy sessions, put me in them. If you found a horse that's a thoroughbred, and I'm naming something for every guy, right? Bolster us up, make us look better than we were before we met you. Because the truth of the matter is, if men are on the path that they're on, then you coming into our lives should make us look better in as many aspects as possible. That's what we should expect. Great question. Phenomenal question. I'm sorry, I missed that. That is true. The average guy knows no better. Knows no better. I was speaking from their point of view. I've been on a date. I've never been on a date with a woman I haven't been with. I'm one of the few. I don't know if you're one of the few, bro, but you may be. I don't know if you're one of the few, but we'll go with that. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Nope. Right.
Well, well, that makes sense. He said, "I've never been on a date with a woman I haven't already been with." I would say the majority of guys that go on dates wasn't with her already. That's why he's going on a date.
Yeah,
So
like
so I would say that Joel is right when he's saying I'm one of the few that's already been with her before we even went on a date. Most people are going on a date so they can be with her. But do you think? See, here's Chris. Now, in writing that book that you just released, right? The ultimate guide, the ultimate betting guide. Would you estimate in your research as you was writing the book that most men do not know what to look for? Because Joel wrote, he said that is true, but the average guy knows no better. So Joel, in his experience, he's figuring most average men don't know to do those things that you just explained.
Know your worth, fellas.
Is that what you kind of experienced as you was doing the research for your book, that most average guys just don't know no better and they don't know to look for those things? And maybe that's the reason why you wrote the book, because you knew that they needed this game and they just went on dates with women that they had no idea wasn't interested in them.
So full transparency, Shan, and again another great question. Full transparency. I was the guy, and I don't even hate to admit this because I'm not that guy anymore. I was the guy that as soon as I got separated from my ex-wife, I ended up spending $600 to $750 a month because I would match with a woman, and then I would go on a date as soon as I matched with them, and I had no conversation. We had no similar interests, and so that was me,
They got
right?
that food.
I
They got
was that
food.
guy,
They got
right?
fed though, huh? Yeah.
And they got fed. I got no return on my investment. There was no communicative investment. There was nothing. So that was me. So I'm the model for the book, right? So the part of the reason that I learned that I had to try to take a step back, and when I wrote it with the context of I'm not going to spend $750 to $1,000 a month on dates when relationships are built inside the house. If you're in a relationship with a woman, probably 80% of that relationship, that when you guys are together, probably 80% of that relationship is in the house. When you're married, 80% of it is in the house. If you when you it's the two of you guys, you take out when you go to work, you're not together unless you work together, right? But when you come home, your relationship is being built between the time you guys get home to the time you guys leave, and that's typically most of the time is at home. So I decided to stop doing a whole bunch of dates and add some substance, right? And so now I do less dates and I do more communication and more time. So I was literally the guinea pig for the book, right? And I did find that I was the average guy, right? I did find that in talking to other guys, yes, they had no clue that they needed to have more conversation before they went out and spent money. Here's the thing. Money is something you can always get back. Time is not. So if you're going to make the investment, then get a return on your investment. Even if it's time, get a return on your investment. And I'm not saying take something from a woman, but take something from the experience, learn something. And so since I was the guinea pig, that's where the book came from. My stupid ass out here spending $500 a month. Now I was making, the money to spend, but who wants to spend what we could do with $500 a month? What? I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead, Colin.
I was going to say, just to answer that question also, so yeah, most of the average guys didn't know. So, but the men community is starting to wake up, just with all these red pill podcasts and things like that. Not just KS, but it's starting to be more and more podcasts. So even with Shan's podcast, so more and more men are waking up, and that's why it's just know your worth, fellas. Because men are waking up and we're starting to realize their worth, and it's getting a little tight out here because going on these foodie calls and getting this and getting that is becoming a little bit more difficult because it's men are starting to vet more properly.
I ain't
Absolutely.
gonna give no red pill no credit for that. It's just men are waking up with more emotional and relational intelligence.
Now,
I ain't giving it to the red pill.
he said all of these things, Robert. He just didn't credit the one thing. There are definitely more podcasts. Men are by and large we're waking up. We are learning our worth a lot more. I'm sorry, Colin. Go ahead. Let me shut up.
Well, I just said, and the books also. So
yeah, and in the books, podcasts like this where we address men, where we address women too in relationships. If you're a man and you're dating and you continue to date and all you're doing is spending money and you're not getting something back and getting a relationship from those dates, you need to take a step back and reassess what you've been doing, because what you've been doing is not working. You can't just keep going out doing the same thing. I think it's Albert Einstein who said doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So what you have to do is stop doing the stupid thing that you've been doing, which is spending too much money like I did, and then learn what it is that you want, right? What it is that you need, and then from there, develop conversations about those things that you want and need. So, any final thoughts on that before we jump to our third question? Typically, we don't do 3 questions, but we'll do a third one tonight.
Yeah, I got some smoke for Robert.
Go for it. All the smoke.
Oh shit.
If it ain't if it ain't the red pill community, then what is waking up men? What is it then?
I mean, I, for me, with that particular scenario, I haven't gone on dates with women that I haven't first spoken to for days on end, hours on end, without, I've never put myself in that position. So I don't believe that you would consider me part of the red pill community. I really don't believe that. I learned mine from,
He said,
studies and what the studies and whatnot that I did on my own. And it wasn't coming from people who would even be attached to the red pill community.
Okay,
You know what I
I'm just
mean?
curious.
So
All right, I ain't got no smoke for Robert tonight.
Yeah, that was light smoke. That was light smoke.
Shan, he's vulnerable. He doesn't have place with him. He's vulnerable.
he just lit the saber. That's all. Just drone.
The facts. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Tequila, for that third question. I mean, for that second question. Great question. In reference to that third question, right here on the screen for you guys, from Michael B. Out of LA. Should a person's financial status matter when choosing a partner? Two-part question. And should men care as much as women? Should a person's financial status matter when choosing a partner? And should men care as much as women? I want to kind of slap at it first, real quick. No, men really don't care how much money you make. Only women care how much money they make. And I don't know who made the quote that says when a man gets money, he wants to, give it and take care of a woman. When a woman gets money, she feels like she doesn't need a man. I don't know who said that quote, but whoever penned that quote, you are a genius. Because in this modern day age, after feminism and all those things, women are out chasing the bag, and they're saying, "Oh, I don't need a man." So men are like, "Okay, well, we don't really have to have you either because we don't want to tolerate the way in which you lord over us." Here's another quote that I'm going to give you that I think is phenomenal, and I'm gonna shut up. Um, the quote, and I don't know. Again, I don't know who said this one, but you will never lose money as a man. You'll never lose money chasing. You'll never lose women
You
chasing
never go
money.
broke chasing money, but you
You'll
go broke
never,
chasing.
you'll never go broke chasing money, but you'll always lose money chasing women. So the thing is, if you've built yourself up as a man, you shouldn't really care if they got a whole bunch of money. That doesn't really matter. You are looking for her to come around to help. So for a woman, yes, you don't want a broke man, but you do want a visionary. You want a man that is actually implementing his plan, or has a plan and is actually moving from where he was 2, 3, 4 years ago and moving closer to where he wants his plan to be. That's my end of my statement. Y'all can chime in on that one.
I believe that if a man got his own and he out here getting it and doing what he needs to do, no, he's not worried about what his woman makes because he's making the money, he's doing what he needs to do. Society already looks at as the man as being the breadwinner. So I do believe that I don't believe that a person should care too much about a person's financial status when choosing a partner, but I do believe that women do care more so about a man's financial status because they want to know that he'll be able to take care of them or provide for the home, be the breadwinner, take care of her and the kids. And so she wants somebody that makes enough money where she'll feel protected or feel like her particular husband will be able to do what he needs to do for the home or for the household. But I don't really think that too many men care about what a woman makes because if you out here getting it on your own, why are you concerned with what your woman makes? You're gonna have your money, you're gonna bring home the money. So I don't really feel like a lot of men too much care about that.
Yeah, I think it maybe not financial status, but financial behavior should matter when choosing a partner. Because for me, you know what I mean? If I'm supposed to be the breadwinner, you're possibly inheriting my financial status. So I'm not about to just jump into something with somebody that has reckless spending habits and reckless financial behavior. So I definitely want to know, how are you with money? Like, how much you make doesn't really matter to me, but because you could make, 6 figures, you can make 5, and that shit, how you are with it can affect a lot and can damage my financial status. So I'm definitely paying attention to that. I honestly think women should care less about financial status because women typically end up getting with men that are financially secure and they're not happy, and they pass up on men that might not be as financially stable as they want them to be, but that's the guy that's perfect for them. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's good. You should
that's
say that again, Shahid.
what part.
The last statement you made
So,
about
yeah, I think that women should care less, as they shouldn't care as much as they do about financial status, because they end up getting with these men for their financial status, and they unhappy. You know what I mean? And they pass up on the men that they don't feel is financially secure enough for them, or financially in that tax bracket that they want, and they end up, you know what I mean, losing out on a good man that was perfect for them.
Shahid, my man. I was listening. The first thing that Chris said was income. The Jerron came in with the income, and see, but the question that was on the screen. Throw it up again, real quick, Colin, if you can, if you don't mind, sir.
Which one? The question?
The
the last
financial,
one.
the last one,
What?
the
The last one.
financial.
Do women care, or should you care about a partner's financial
Oh, gotcha.
status?
See that
And do
question?
men care? Not
No,
that
no,
one.
not
And do
that one.
men care more than women?
No, it was a question. Okay, well maybe he didn't throw
From
it on the
Michael
screen.
B.
Nah, yeah, it was a different question.
I'll pull it up again. Let me pull up my notes because I got it written down as soon as I can get to it.
I have it. I have it.
You got it?
You probably deleted it.
Yep, there it is.
Should a person's now the thing is it's a person's right? So we're talking men or women, and I believe you
Correct.
said it was a two-part question. But should a person's financial status matter when choosing a partner? Absolutely yes. Men especially should care about a woman's financial status. We don't give a fuck how much money she makes. But women, listen, if you guys are gonna be 100% man, and you got to come in and you're not on that 50-50 stuff, and you're trying to establish a program, you want to establish uh, a a family direction that you guys are gonna go. Do you care if her credit score is 330? She has $150,000 in college debt. All her credit cards are maxed out, and they're getting ready to cut them off.
Absolutely.
Repossession.
It's about to be
She got,
your
she
debt.
got she got a repossession on her credit report and an eviction. She pretty though, and she know how to she know how to get and she know how to throw it back. That's financial status. And that is important because when you bring on a woman into your life, fellas, you are assuming how do they say, you're assuming the loan.
Right.
You're assuming the loan. You are now taking on her debt. And I'm talking in sense of marriage or any kind of meaningful long life partnership, somebody that you're thinking of being with, rocking out for a long time, not some short term shit. You're taking on her debt. When I married my wife, my last one, credit was in the tank, student loan was up, had her car repossessed, credit was shot. I cleaned all that up. Called them up, just like, okay, well, what's this? Oh, you had medical. You did. Oh, they charge you for the ambulance, 600, and you never pay. Okay, you just ignored all of these. Okay, cool. I was just writing checks. Pay that, pay that, pay that, pay that. Cleared that up, cleared that up, cleared everything up. Just cleared up. Right. I took on that, but I needed to know that before I decided to bring her into the fold. Let's clear all this up. And what's going on with this? And let's dispute that. No, they forgot to do this, so we got a loophole to get out of that one. We cleaned all that up. Remember, men are problem solvers too. There's protection provision, but we problem solve. And so, fellas, you got to know your woman's financial status because you are assuming all of her debt. If my wife was in, had student loan, had to cut the check for that, get her out of student loan. Now let's get out of these student loans. We don't want to even be bothered with that because Uncle Sam will come for us forever. So you gotta know somebody's financial status. The argument is, and I understand why Chris and Jerron did what they did, is because so many people conflate financial status with how much money
Income.
you make. Yeah, with
Exactly.
income. Yeah, and Chris and Jerron was 100% right. If you're a 100% man, you shouldn't give a shit about how much money your woman is making because you got that covered anyway. That her money is y'all investment money, or maybe she's stacking it up for the vacation. That's vacation money. That's rainy day money. You know, that's when you retire, you have $1 million in cash money. That's that kind of thing. That's what her paycheck is for. So I want to be clear that everybody should be concerned about everybody's financial debt. Ladies, you need to know what kind of financial status that man is in. I understand about debt. This is where Shaheed was like, he thinks that women shouldn't even really trip. Unfortunately, women are hypergamous by nature. They shouldn't, but they do. And, we probably should just accept that. But, ladies, I know a lot of dudes with some fancy Gucci belts and got Louis Vuitton sneakers and shit, and they rent their cars and they don't have no place to lay their head. Men know how to fake it. So before you get deep into a relationship with somebody, you fall for them too heavy. You need to know his financial status, because if you get into a relationship or you happen to get pregnant by Pookie, if you happen to get pregnant by him and you decide to take the baby to term because you feel maybe maybe you're pro-life, don't you want to know that the man that is the baby, is the father of your baby to be, uh has a credit score of 440, a credit score of 330, and he can't even get he can't even get the job because some jobs require a credit check before you get hired, and it won't hire you if you got bad credit. So everybody should know the financial status of the people that they're getting into a relationship with. That's super important.
So on that, Shan, I agree with you 1,000%, right? Because obviously financial status, the wording in its context is completely different than income, right? And I agree with Shahid 1,000% as well. You focus on, sometimes women focus on the wrong things, right? You should focus on, is he executing his plan? Does he take care of me well, right? How does he treat me, right? How does he talk to me? More importantly, and I'm gonna say this because I think this is even more important. When I piss him off, how does he treat me and talk to me then? Right? How does he resolve conflict? Because the amount of money he makes, whether he makes 50,000, 100,000, or 7 million a year, how he talks to you when he's upset has a huge implication into how your relationship is going to be. And shout out to T Leaves too. Thank you for the super chat, the $5 super chat. Thank you for supporting the stream. You are always a supporter of us. We appreciate that very much. Um, Absolutely, you need to know their financial status. You need to be able to ask credit scores as the relationship progressed, as it progressed, and you see it heading towards marriage. You see it heading towards 6 months, 9 months. You're not asking that question on the first date.
Chris,
You're
let me
not
ask you a
asking
question.
that question. Say what?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
No, I got you. Let me ask you this real quick. You mentioned women should be concerned with how he talks to her when she pisses him off.
I didn't even get a chance to come back around to. We need to
Come
pay
back
attention
around.
to how
Finish it
she
up for me.
talks to us when she doesn't, because that's the other side of the coin.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
see,
you
we're
know where
talking about
you probably know where
financial
I'm gonna go
status,
with this.
right? We're talking about financial status, and so I wanted to, because that's a whole nother question, right? You need to learn, because you got to learn how to talk to me when you're upset. You got to learn, because here's the thing: I was in a marriage for 15 years, and all we did was yell and scream. Right? I have a zero tolerance policy for yelling and screaming. Zero. You have, well, 1%. You have one opportunity to find out from me that that's a deal breaker. And after that one opportunity, you can never do it again. Because I will tell you and I will end it immediately. Like there's not even a second chance, because that's what a deal breaker is for me. So yeah, women, and I know Shan was gonna go there. Absolutely, you better learn real quick how to soften your voice and how to talk to a man, because that's majorly important. Majorly important. Go ahead, Rob. You look like you're chomping at the bit.
I don't know if I was going to comment on it at all because I somewhat agree with Shan, but I agree probably more so with. I feel like we do put too much emphasis on it. I feel like
What is
we
it?
are
Define it.
uh, either financial status or income, because it sometimes has to do with a mindset. It sometimes does have to do with income. There is an income that's too low to sustain a relationship because being comfortable and able to do things and enjoy one another without the stress of money can make your relationship a whole lot easier. But we focus on, or we've been hearing a lot more lately that, we want the high figure dude. He got to be making 120 for 3 years plus this, that, and the third. When in all actuality, if you're looking for a black man, the average black man's income ain't even 50,000. And if you're looking to have $100,000 household, you might want to take your 50 and put it with his 50, and there's your $100,000 household. And now you guys are actually living more stable than you guys would have alone, searching for that guy that's in a whole nother percentile of people. That guy is harder to find. He's more rare, and he might still be an asshole. But I'm not going to sit there and say that finances aren't important in a relationship. I just feel like maybe we put too much stress on it, especially if you have a plan, if you have someone that you can work with financially and you guys are able to complete certain goals, you guys are able to fix your credit score, you guys are able to fix your debt, you guys are able to start a business, you guys are able to have a side hustle, whatever it may be, and still enjoy yourselves doing it. Then maybe putting so much emphasis on the finances ruins more relationships than, matter of fact, the finances does ruin more relationships than it has to. But there's a lot of little intricacies in there that would have to be correct too. So
I ain't gonna bring no smoke tonight, y'all.
So let me ask you a question, Robert and other guys. I heard at one point in my growth of throughout my marriage that there are three things that control marriages: money, sex, and communication. And with those three things, you can only master two of three. You can only master two of three. Shan, I'm gonna ask you first. If you had a choice to have a perfect mastery of two of the three subjects, which two would it be? And you can be good at the third, but which two would it be for you? Master two, be good at the third one.
Money, sex, and communication.
Money, sex, and communication.
I can master only two,
Master only two.
and I suck at the other one. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can be good at the third one.
Oh, you
can be
good at the third one?
Good at the third one.
Okay, well, for me, it would be money number one. So let me just do that. So now it's between sex and communication. It would have to be, and I'm good at it. Would be communication, money and communication. Based on what you've given me, money and communication, and I'm just money and communication. I'm a master at, and sex, I'm just good at. I'll take that.
Got it, Colin.
Chris, you already asked us this question, bro.
Oh, you were here? Yeah, you were here last week. Okay, Robert.
Yeah, so I would just say ask everybody that wasn't here when you asked.
Were you here for this question, Robert?
I believe
I didn't hear
so,
your answer, though, Colin. I want to hear your answer, Colin.
No, I was gonna say, Shan, our answers are the same. I said the same thing, but my explanation was different. So I said sex because it doesn't matter if I have good sex or not. It's just like it'll still produce a child. So to me, wealth building, which is the money, and then the communication. So it's like you don't have to be an expert at sex to have kids.
Let me tell you this. My reason for sex being just good is because one, you can't fuck forever, right? And two, my communication is so cold blooded, you ain't gonna know. You gonna think I'm gonna be able to sweet talk you so good because my communication is I'm a master at it, and I'm gonna talk you into orgasms, ladies. I'm gonna talk it into you. Don't worry about the dick.
Okay. Jerron, I know you weren't here for this question. You can master two of three: money, sex, and communication. Which two are you mastering Which one are you good at?
It's easy for me. I'm gonna go money and communication. And the reason I say that is because if I got money, I mean, women gonna come. So I mean, the sex will be there, whether I'm great at it or good at it or not. As long as I got money
He said,
and
"This
can
is all
communicate,
that."
they still gonna come. So money and communication, sex will be last.
Dron, I just shot you a text. All right, so I'm not like y'all at all. I need to master sex and communication and be good at money. Right? Sex and communication to be good at money. I say be good at sex and communication because um, although you can't have sex forever, I don't want to have terrible sex. I won't have just mediocre good sex. But see, if you're
No,
a
no, no,
master,
no. I had no, no. You didn't. Why you go there with it? I asked you, or do you suck? And you said no, you don't suck.
no,
Now
no,
you
no,
saying
you don't
terrible
suck.
sex. I don't want to have terrible sex. So
No,
don't say that. Say you got to say I don't want to have good sex. Say that.
right. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to have good mediocre sex. I want to have great sex.
No, not mediocre. You don't get to average it out because you're not picking it. You don't get to say you're not settling for mediocrity, and you don't get to say terrible. You got to say good.
Okay. I don't want to have just good sex. I don't want to have just good sex, right? I want to have great sex. I want to have mastery of sex, right? And I want to have great communication because if we have great communication, we don't have financial problems.
Are you kidding me? If you have great communication and you don't have, well, what difference does it make? Because you pick money. Oh, no. So
I
you
pick sex and communication.
and you don't give a fuck about money. So you saying because you are able to talk to her better, you guys are not gonna have money issues?
I think so.
So y'all gonna be broke? No.
No.
You're right. I'm about to be a hypocrite. I got you. You're going to live a decent life. A decent life. We'll call it middle class, right? That's good. Middle
above
class
average.
is good.
Above average.
Well, middle class is above average. You know what I'm saying?
Upper middle class.
Well, okay. All right. So cool. So upper middle class is a lot of money. So depending where you live, that's well. So you're saying instead of living a lavish lifestyle, where an opulent lifestyle where you can do whatever you want to do, whenever you wanted to do it, you'll deal with going to work, but in having a boss, but you live in an upper middle class life, and you fucking really well with your girl. You guys are orgasmic every night, and the chemistry is fantastic. And you guys are able to talk to each other fantastically. She understands you. You can finish each other's sentences, everything. But you just live a little bit above average lifestyle based on the money that you're making, and you'll never make any more than that. You cool with that?
So, no, because one, I don't have a boss. I have employees, like similarly to a lot of the guys here, right? So, because of the way that I intend to live, it will be above average and it will be a lavish lifestyle. You know, I don't get to do everything I want to do right now. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is because I'm sacrificing now so that later I can live that way.
Got right? It. But we've established that good is not just okay. Okay is average. Good is above average. And so as long as you're making more money than the average person, you're not making $41,000 a year. You guys are making $75,000 a year. You're okay with that?
I'm thinking more like, you know,
no. 75 is no 200. No, $41,000 is average for America for.
So if we're going off of those numbers, but see,
$41,000 is average for white men.
But watch this though. See, it's average, which means it's a cumulative average of a whole bunch of other numbers. So there's some highs and some lows. So if we're gonna be, we're gonna talk it that way. I could be on the high end of the average. I could be on that 175,000 high end. You know what I mean? So let's just do that. I mean, I don't want to live a mediocre life. I mean, in the next hell, the next 2 years, I want to buy 6 acres or 26 acres of land. So, and flip that thing and be sitting good on 10 acres, in the next 5 years. So,
No, I
and
got
that's the
you.
plan. But no, great
I can
talk,
imagine,
man.
and I can imagine because I was on the fence at first. 'Cause I was thinking sex. I was on the fence with sex and money as well. That's why I had actually. I was like, because if I make decent money, can I just live a? I just well, then it's like, what am I? Then I had to snap out of it, and it was like, no, hell no, money is necessary. So,
Yeah, I mean, it puts you in a conundrum, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
To kind of like have to choose. But great comments, great conversation, great show, and I think I love it when we have this great camaraderie, and I look forward to the day when we all can come together and make and do this live for you guys, so you all won't see us on separate screens, but you'll see us on one screen with
Coming soon.
however many different cameras. And
Coming
we're going to
soon.
do that for you guys. I think that we probably should wait to our 1 year anniversary and do it like July 1st. That'll put us at 1 year. I think it will probably be July 2nd, which will be a Thursday. I'm not sure what the calendar is, but that'll be our 1 year. We can all come together and we can, meet, and you'll see us live. You'll see Shahid always texting. I'm just teasing. He's actually on Instagram sending me a message, just so y'all know. No, I'm just playing. Anyways, but great show, man. I think we did. I think we've answered all of the questions. And if you have a question and you want us to get up here with this same kind of banter and have some fun and stuff like that, email us. It's right here above my head at questions@aabma.live. If you want to join the show at any point during the broadcast, you want to click the other point over here, and you want to type in call.aabma.live. Make sure you take a screenshot of this, and if you like the broadcast, share it and put it in your Instagram bio. Tag us. We love you. We did a great show, fellas. We out. Shahid, hit him with your outro.
Shahid Muhammad, Los Angeles, California. I'm gonna keep it short, man. I'll see y'all next week. Passing it to Jerron.
Mute it.
You're muted, Jerron.
My bad. Hey, it was good to be back, y'all. I'm glad to be back. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been 3 weeks, so I'm going to go and say it. Hey, you do something nice for yourself this weekend. Love on yourself. Peace out. I'm going to pass it to Robert.
Robert Longmire, Bakersfield, California. I'm going to end it there, Mr. Colin.
Colin Hardiman, always glad to have this show with my fellas. Great topic, great discussion. That's on you, Shane. Mute it.
That's so funny. Like, he
Shannon
had the whole
Rawls.
thing set up.
Shannon Rawls, I'll see you guys next week, Thursday. Appreciate you.
Chris Davis in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Buffalo, New York. See you guys next week. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Send it to your friends. Share it on your Facebook. We love you. We out.
Great show, fellas.
Yes, sir. Man, Colin, you did it again, man. You're getting better, man.
A little bit. Having a little technical difficulties, but working it out.
Man, I think I like Colin as a producer more than I like Shan.
Oh, dang. Hey, Shan, do the shots fired sound effect. This is my song. I love this song. I literally look forward to this outro because I love this song.
Yeah, we don't have Wes on live to give us that last 10-second clip.
I'm serious. This song literally warps me back to Ireland. Like, that's why I'm like, it's nostalgic for me.
Oof.
You gotta give me this track, Shan.
Hey, Colin, you know what you could do? You can go to Shazam and Shazam it. Matter of fact, I'll do it now. I'll do it now and I'll send it to you.
I'm sending it to you. No, I'm sending it to him right now. He's getting it.
It's super laid back. It's super chill.
But no, we definitely need to have the live show sometime in April. Like springtime here in Houston. Like, yeah. I think that'll be a better look in the spring versus the summer.
I think too many people already shared that April was a no go.
Really?
Yeah, I got my birthday and my daughter's birthday.
Yeah,
April 10th,
Robert's
11th.
got some stuff.
If we're talking about July 2nd, I know I'll be in New Orleans for Essence Festival, so
We'll figure it out.
good night.
Kate Mann.
Thank y'all for joining tonight's show. Really appreciate y'all. Y'all come on camera next week.
Yeah, I think Shan, honestly, Shan, I think you do so much stuff that it is definitely helpful that Colin can kind of step in.
That's hard. Woo!
But Colin, you doing the damn thing, man. I mean, Shan and I are texting in the background, a lot of different stuff, a lot of different ideas and stuff like that. So it kind of alleviates the pressure of him having to respond to me. And even though he ignores my text, it's okay.
So glad I can assist.
I'm here
Definitely,
for you.
like you said, I'm starting to get the controls down, so be playing around with it, see whatever little extra niceties I can come up with.
Yeah, it's getting better every week, man. I mean, we're looking good. Good stuff. Good shit.
Thank you for that audio track, Shane. I'm gonna be listening to it all night.
It is soothing, ain't it?
Yo, it's like that perfect, just chill music.
Indeed.
Good night on the town. You get back home, you just lounging. It's chill music.
Good night, everybody. We will see you all next week.